Stop. Put the video on pause for 1 second. Open your banking app. I'll wait. Now count how many Pay in 4 charges are staring back at you. Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, Sezzle. That one you swear you canceled, but definitely didn't. Found more than one? Congratulations. You're not broke, you're just 4 payments deep. It's basically a subscription plan for regret. And before you feel called out, don't. Because you're an incredibly crowded company. 380 million people worldwide are doing the exact same thing right now. That's not a some people problem. That's basically a small continent's worth of humans. All mid-installment, all at once. Here's the part that should actually get your attention though. This stopped being about sneakers and concert tickets a while ago. For a scary chunk of an entire generation, this has quietly become how they eat. Groceries, on installments. I promise you I'm not making that up. And yes, we're getting to that number. 15 minutes. That's all I need. I'll show you the mechanism, the myth that's fooling millions, and the one rule change already sneaking up on people who have zero idea it's coming. Let's rip into it. Okay, the scoreboard. 380 million users globally. In the US, half of all adults have used BNPL. Coin flip. That's literally a coin flip odds that the person next to you right now has a Klarna balance open. And Gen Z... Oh, Gen Z's not even playing the same game anymore. Over half of Gen Z digital shoppers used BNPL in the last year alone. Now here's the twist that turns this from mildly concerning to okay wait, what? A year ago, 14% of BNPL users were financing groceries with it. Today, 25%, 1 in 4. That number basically doubled in 12 months. That's not a trend, that's a sprint. And Gen Z specifically, a full third are putting groceries on a payment plan. I need you to really sit with that for a second. Not a PS5, not a vacation, milk, eggs, chicken breast, on a payment plan. We've officially reached the point where 4 easy payments applies to a rotisserie chicken. This isn't a story about people being irresponsible. This is a story about paychecks that don't stretch far enough, quietly getting patched over with debt dressed up in a cute checkout button. Because here's the trick. It never feels like debt. It feels like a cheat code. Spoiler, it's not a cheat code. It's just debt wearing a really good disguise. So how did an entire generation end up financing lunch? Let's pull back the curtain, because honestly, however it ended up this way, the result is kind of genius. BNPL removes every single speed bump that normally makes your brain go, wait, should I actually do this? No credit check usually, no interest if you're on time, no paperwork, no moment of hesitation, 4 taps and done. And your brain never files it as borrowing money, because borrowing money is supposed to feel heavy, and this just doesn't. It's the financial equivalent of a magic trick. Intentional or not, that's the effect it has on how you spend. Except the trick has a cost, and it's called stacking. 63% of BNPL users currently have more than 1 loan running at the same time. 1 in 4 are juggling 3 or more simultaneously. Different apps, different due dates, all quietly draining the same paycheck like it's a group project nobody agreed to. And if you're Gen Z, you're basically the star player here. 71% of Gen Z BNPL users are holding multiple loans at once. That's not a hack, that's a spreadsheet nobody's keeping. And trust me, your bank account is keeping the receipts, even if you're not. And the cracks are showing. Self-reported late payments, 34% in 2024, 41% in 2025, 47% right now, almost half. That's not a rounding error. That's basically a coin flip you're statistically losing. Now, quick honesty check. Because I refuse to be another creator who fearmongers you with the wrong number. That 47% is self-reported. Yeah, I was late once, energy, not an actual default rate. The real dollar-weighted amount of BNPL debt that gets written off as an actual loss. Under 2%. So no, half of BNPL users are not drowning. Breathe. Nobody's building a bunker. What is happening is slower, sneakier. It's death by $1,004 late fees. across 4 different apps every single month forever, like a subscription to disappointment. Alright, pit stop. Let's recap before your brain starts buffering. 1. BNPL isn't niche anymore. 380 million users, half of US adults, over half of Gen Z. It's basically mainstream infrastructure at this point, like Wi-Fi, but worse for your credit. 2. It's crept from wants to needs. A quarter of users are now financing groceries. That number nearly doubled in a year. 3. The real danger isn't one dramatic collapse. It's stacking. Most users are juggling multiple loans at once, and almost half have paid late at least once. Coming up, the myth that's tricking millions of people into thinking this is actually building their financial future. Spoiler, it's doing the opposite. Plus a rule change already live in one country and creeping toward the rest of the world. Stay put, it gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. Quick pause, because what's coming next genuinely made my jaw drop while I was researching this. If your brain just went, wait, I want to know that, that's your cue to hit subscribe right now. I break down exactly what's happening to your money in 2026. No fluff, always sourced, always updated the second the rules move. And trust me, in this space, they move a lot. Okay, let's keep going. Screenshot this part, I mean it. 62% of BNPL users genuinely believe that paying on time is building their credit score. It's not. For most providers, on-time payments never even get reported to the 3 credit bureaus. So all that responsible, on-time, gold star behavior, invisible. Your credit file doesn't even know you exist. It's like doing extra credit for a class that doesn't take attendance. But, and here's where it gets genuinely rude, the bad behavior does start counting. As of late 2025, FICO began folding BNPL data into some of its credit scoring models. So read that combo again. Be perfect, get nothing, slip up once, get penalized. Whether or not that's the goal, that's the actual math playing out for users, and it's not a fair coin. And here's the kicker that ties it all together. Nearly a third of BNPL users, 32.7%, already have a credit score under 620, an existing delinquency, or a rejected credit application. That's almost double the national average. So this isn't some neutral tool everyone uses equally. It's leaning hardest on the people who can least afford a silent trapdoor, while being marketed as the responsible grown-up alternative to a credit card. Which, ironic, considering an actual credit card, used properly, reports every on-time payment and builds your score. BNPL usually just doesn't. The safer than a credit card pitch is only telling you half the plot. One more thing, and this one's moving fast enough that most people genuinely haven't clocked it yet. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority is rolling out mandatory affordability checks for BNPL, covering about 11 million users starting this year. Sounds boring. It's not. Regulators think this could push 10 to 30% of current BNPL users out of the system completely, which sounds protective until you realize a lot of those users are the exact people leaning on it to survive a grocery bill, and now that safety net just vanishes overnight. No backup plan included. Meanwhile, across the pond in the US, total opposite move. Regulators actually walked back a rule that would have given BNPL users stronger legal protections. Pulled it in 2025, not expanded it. So the UK's tightening the net. The US is loosening it, same product, 2 completely different rulebooks, and almost nobody's actually telling users which version they're living under. Alright, action time, fast and simple. BNPL free right now? Stay that way for anything that isn't a one-time, budgeted, I actually planned this purchase. Never for groceries, never for gas, never for anything recurring. If you're financing a necessity, that's your budget waving a red flag, not BNPL being a hero. Using one plan? Go check right now if it even reports to credit bureaus. Most don't. Treat it as neutral at best, not the credit-building flex you thought it was. Stacking multiple apps? This is your homework. List every single one out, due dates and all, in one place today. Most people underestimate how many they're juggling because every app hides the others, like it's playing hide and seek with your bank balance. Kill the smallest one first, then stop opening new ones. And wherever you live, go check if your country's tightening BNPL rules or leaving it wide open, because that tells you exactly how much of a safety net you actually have if this goes sideways. Let's bring it home. BNPL isn't the villain twirling a mustache here. It's not a scam, and plenty of people use it responsibly with zero issues. But it does remove the exact hesitation that used to make people think twice before borrowing. And whether or not that's the intent, that's the real-world effect it's having on a generation that's now financing lunch through an app that won't even build their credit for doing everything right. 3 things to actually remember. It's mainstream now, not a niche trend. The real risk is stacking, not one dramatic collapse. And that it's helping my credit belief 6 out of 10 users have. For most providers, just not true. If that Pay in 4 button is going to hit different next time you're at checkout, that's the whole point of the next 15 minutes of your life you just spent here. Send this to the one friend juggling 4 BNPL apps right now. They need to see this before app number 5 shows up. And subscribe, because this is shifting on both sides of the Atlantic as we speak, and I'll be right here breaking down exactly what changes and what it means for your actual money the second it happens.